morning, everybody. I wanted to stop in because I saw a question from Michael Adams and was going to text it, and then I thought, that's a lot to text. I'd rather just talk to you. So he left it, I think, on the page, but it was basically like, what kind of things can you do to get out of the self-sabotage mode? So I wanted to come in and really talk to you about getting out of that. What you hear out there and what is a really good tool always, and it's the biggest thing going around, is state changes, which means that you walk, run, sing, dance, listen to music, do something that changes your state. What that does, like, I'm going to get into this. So what those things does is it's great because they change your current state. They change your mindset right now, and that practice of changing your mindset right now over time changes it further, and longer down the road. And then it also changes your conscious thought, like the thought that are running through your head, and those types of things can help change your subconscious thought, but that takes a lot of practice and a lot of time. And these types of state changes are kind of like temporary fixes. And like I said, when practiced over time, they can become a permanent fix, but they're temporary at the beginning. And to me, personally, they're like a lot of work. So why not actually, go a little bit further with it? Like, you hear a lot of times people talking about leaning in to your emotion, and for me, I just say, you know what, that I didn't like doing that. That took a long time for me. I didn't like leaning in. I'm kind of more of like I'm going to handle it right now, which means I'm going to be jumping in to that emotion. And when you give yourself the permission to actually jump into your emotion, especially when you say, you know what, I'm just going to jump into all of it. Like, I'm going to go find the biggest trauma ever. And when I say trauma, I just mean like your residual emotion. It's not necessarily that you had this massive thing, but the deal is that a lot of times what we would see as an adult to be a massive, not a massive thing, to be a very small thing, is very massive in our childhood. And so it is like going into that inner child and finding, that residual pain that still lives there, that could be from something big or might not be something big. But what I can tell you is that it happened so long ago. Like, it's not just something that happened in your teens. It's way before that. Way before that. And I only know that because I've helped people find so many of them. And that's what I actually call your life theme. And the reason why I say that that's your life theme is because that's like one of the first traumatic things that you went through that as an adult you might not think was traumatic, but your young little body believed it was at that point. And then you were taught to suppress it. So it's the biggest trauma because it's the most suppressed energy that you have. It's from so long ago that it's like, it's really even hard to dig it up. And to be honest with you, it's terrifying to dig it up. It's scary. It's dark down there. And when you're going into that shadow self, it's really scary. And it can, a lot of times people don't make it. A lot of times people become suicidal with it and everything, and I did. I'll be honest about that. Like, it was rough. It was rough going through that. And the thing is that I've been doing this work for so long that I know exactly how to get out of it, but it took me a minute to realize that I knew exactly how to get out of it. And then what the coolest part about me going through it was that I went, oh, let's get other people out of this faster, because this is no fun being here. And it can actually become fun. That's the weird part, is it can become enjoyable, so that then when that life theme gets let go of, then everything else is so easy to lean into. It's almost like, yeah, here we go, we can go get another one, right? And they're fun to explore at that point. It's not as painful anymore. But in order to get the fun out of it, you've got to have a frequency change, not just a mindset change, not just a quick state change, not something temporary. You have to actually have a frequency change. And what is that going to require? Well, that's going to require that you release like the biggest thing there, and then we replace it, like we plant a seed. And that seed at that point is something that we can activate on a daily basis. And I mean that we activate it frequency-wise. We activate it with the subconscious mind, with the nervous system, with the actual feeling, so that the frequency changes. It's not activated with just changing your mindset anymore. It's not activated with just thinking a good thought. It's activated when your frequency changes, and we have tools for that. One of the tools for that, the biggest tool, is the chakra stirring system that I have put in the group. It's in the announcements. Everybody can go download it. It's a free thing. But at the same time, we got to find the seed, and that's going to take a little bit of time to do that. That's going to take a process. But I will tell you this: it doesn't have to take 13 years of counseling. It just has. I mean, like in reality, we can get through it within a 4-hour period. But it doesn't have to be a 4-hour chunk. Just 4 hours. But you got to be willing to go there. If you're not willing to go there, if it's too dark or too scary and you're not willing to go, then it's not going to work, you know? And if you want to go there, then you can go there alone. You don't have to go there with anybody. You can go there alone. It's just faster when you go there with somebody. And my point is man, that stuff is so dark and so grimy. It's dark and grimy and not fun. And I want to do my best to help you get out of that spot as quick as possible, and then to provide you with the tools. And I don't mean the tools even that I use necessarily. Like, I'll give you my tools, but you need your own too. Like, have you ever gotten into that point where you're sitting there and you're like buying everybody else's program all the time and it's not working? Or, you know, you're purchasing everybody else's journal, their daily morning journal, and that's not helping either. Like, that's not, those things are like little awesome great ideas to grab from, but you got to take a moment to create your own, how to activate the seeds after you replace them. But again, there's no point in replacing a seed. I mean, you can work from the top down, I guess, and you know, peel the onion off and replace a seed. But how long is it going to take you to get, you know, I don't know how old you are, but how long is it going to take you to get 40 years back? Like, I'm 40. How long is it going to take? And that's the thing about counseling, is that can take years. For me, doing it on my own, it took a year. It took one. And at the same time, I've worked the process down so much that we can get there within hours now. And it doesn't have to take that long. It's up to you what you want to do, you know, and how long you want to take to get there. And whether or not you want to keep living with that joker. And when I talk about self-sabotage, man, it's not just the kind of, hold on real quick. Sorry. Self-sabotage is not just about all the things that say you're not good enough. Self-sabotage a lot of times is also the things that feel good right now that you know are not going to have a good outcome later, are not going to benefit your dream. They're not going to benefit your life long term. They're not going to benefit what you're up to in life and who you want to reach out to. And the thing is too, is that, you know, everybody's got a level of empathy. And if your level's high, then you have a skill. You have a skill that just needs to be honed a little bit, because, man, can you help people find their trauma fast, you know? And we need more. We need more of that. So I just want to tell you all I love you. I hope this helped, Michael. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask them. And I just am saying, come on, guys. We got to do this. We got to do this for us. We got to do it for the world. Like, the world needs it now. They need to get in and get out. They need to know how to handle this and to handle it fast so they can move on with creating more higher level ascension frequencies. Like, we all need this more. I love you. I hope you have a great day. If you have questions, feel free to leave them.